Thank you.
Says Crystal and everything. Hey, Shelby, I know you've seen me before.
Hey, nice to see you.
Good to see you. I'll see you in a couple days, actually. I'll be flying out. Yeah.
Nice.
Are you looking for comprehensive solutions
All right,
for
here we
your
go.
performance and automotive needs? Straight Line Performance and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop specializing in race car fabrication, electrical design, chassis setup and alignment. Located in Hamden, Connecticut, they also specialize in aftermarket high performance and chassis upgrades. Be sure to look them up on Facebook at www.facebook.com/straightline, STR8LINE, Performance, &Automotive, or give them a call at 203-415-5316. Welcome, racers and fans, to the Racers News Network Live, presented by Straight Line Performance and Automotive and Scotty Wheels Racing. Your hosts, Chris and Pete, bring you the latest news and interviews in the world of sportsman drag racing, including bracket racing, association races, outlaw, and no-time events. We are live every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take it away, boys.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great edition of Racers News Network. We have a couple of great guests that are going to join us tonight. We actually have one on with us right now. We're going to talk to Shelby Williams, her first national event Wally this past weekend in Sonoma. And then joining us about 7:30 is going to be Pro Stock Motorcycle Racer Steve Johnson. So here we are. Pete, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, Chris.
Now, you raced at New Media this weekend.
I'd rather not talk about it. Thank you. Move on to Shelby, please.
John, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good. Good to be here.
Outstanding. And of course, like I said, our first guest, our winner and stock eliminator from this past weekend, of course, the one and only Shelby Williams. Good evening, young lady. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and hang out with us for a few minutes. Cool. So the obvious question, let's talk about your race this weekend.
Yeah. It's still just so surreal for me. Of course, I had Justin Lamb in the final, which is just like a pairing.
And you beat him with his own car, his old car too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. Justin, we bought that car from him 2 years ago, and now I'm finally in it and having a blast with it. But yeah, such an honor to race him. He is just so admirable in the racing community, and I knew I had to bring my A game.
Awesome.
Well, 14.0 is definitely A game.
That's an A game.
Yeah, for sure. He was 36 and not even in the race. So
that's what we call mathematically ineligible.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
You took out,
for the people that don't know, Shelby, what class did you win?
I won in stock eliminator.
Stock eliminator, very nice.
You know, you took out Justin, but you took out a lot of other good racers. I mean, Mark Kirby's a good racer. Lindsey Lindholm, you know, Leo Glassburn in the semis. It's a guy that wins a lot. So you had a good race. You were driving good. We were all watching and rooting for you.
Yeah, definitely. I was struggling for a little bit. I hadn't been in the car for a while since we went to Dallas, and I broke my motor on like my first time trial. And so it's been a while since I've really been in the car, getting some laps in. So it was nice to get my head back on straight and
very
hopefully
cool.
do good this coming weekend.
Now, how long have you been racing altogether? And how did you get started?
I raced junior dragsters just for a short time period. Really, my dad was chasing the championship, and we didn't really have a lot of time to focus on that, and I wasn't too interested. But I really, when I was 16, started to actually get interested in racing big cars, and I had the opportunity from Ryan Mangus to race his Nova. So I raced that for a year in Super Straight and did some bracket racing with that, where I picked up one win. at the Fall Fling last year, which was really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I've been racing for almost maybe a year and a half now.
Very cool. Well, I know Pete will be very happy that you race Super Street because that's his class of choice.
I really enjoy Super Street too.
Judging from your win, I'm very happy that you're not racing it in Division 1.
No, Pete, she's racing Division 42 like me.
Yeah, he's out in the Hawaii, yeah, in the volcanoes. So, Shelby, they say whenever you win, you always have a lucky round. Did you have one, and what was the scenario?
I did have a lucky round. It was, I don't know if I would say it was a round. I had to buy into the semis, and funny story, my shoes were falling apart. And I had been taping and gluing them to get by. And I tried some new shoes. I was like, like I have a buy, like maybe I'll try these and see like if we can continue with these because the other ones weren't working. And yeah, I was way late because I was so focused on trying to get my foot on the gas.
How late were you? Come on, let's hear it.
Not gonna use those. What was that?
How late were you? Let's hear it.
Oh, I was 70 on the tree. It was not pretty.
Considering you had a wardrobe malfunction, that's not too bad.
Yeah, but managed to pull it together for the semis, and which was also a really good race.
Excellent. So for those that don't know, what category, I mean, I know it's stock, but A stock, B stock, what kind of car?
D stock automatic.
Okay. And what kind of car?
It's a 70 Camaro Z28.
Oh, very nice. What motor? Is it a 350?
It's a 350, yeah.
Excellent.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the same car that Justin won his very first world championship in?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I know he's got like 82 world championships, but I think that was the first one. Was in that car. And then I think Mangus drove it there for a little bit, I think, right?
He drove it for a while when we had it. When we had like a deal going on where I was driving his car, he was driving mine, and then we've been eventually swapped back over, which I kind of got like a good grounding and could take on that car.
Yeah, I know you ran Super Street all last year. So are you in stock for the rest of the year?
I'll be in stock for the rest of the year, yes.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool, yeah.
So what does your schedule look like for the rest of the year, Shelby?
So I'll be in Pomona next weekend. And then I plan on going to Topeka and also Indy. And I believe Bowling Green's on the schedule. Hopping around.
Very cool. Now you started out in juniors, you raced stock, you've done some Super Street stuff. What is your ultimate car that you want to drive down the road?
I like for a while I was like really interested. I was like, yeah, like I want to drive a dragster. Like I think that'd be really cool. And my dad gave me the opportunity to drive a dragster in bracket races. So I've been doing that recently as well. And that was kind of like, I wanted to do that. And then I like got introduced to the stock world and I was like, okay, wait, I kind of really like these wheelies. Like I'm enjoying this. But eventually I'd like to jump in to super stock and, explore that. But yeah.
Are we going to start
world championship hope someday? Or just
that's the hope.
Awesome. Very cool. So how about your sponsors that help you out?
My sponsors, my main sponsor, K&N Filters, of course, really just the best and believing in me, and really cool opportunity to have them and be repping them. Hoosier Tires, of course, gave me tires before the weekend so I could test those out. Mine were on their last leg and they're like, hey, we got some for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so many people to thank for this win. I couldn't have done it without like my family and my friends and all the people that helped me get here. I had Davey helping me. He was a big help.
Crazy Davy.
Yeah, he was awesome. Ryan, since he couldn't be there, was on the phone with me. Like, I was calling him up. I was like, hey, like, I need a pep talk. Like, I need you. So he was really helpful too. Just my dad, of course, we spent so much time putting this motor back together after Dallas. It was really, really nice of him to like take the time out of his day to try and get us here so we could go to Sonoma. So yeah.
Very cool. Jerron, I think I cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. Well, I think everybody's wondering is Big Steve going to give up the seat in the Corvette anytime soon?
We've talked about it. Like, I don't know, maybe future to come. That's such a cool car. I would love to race it. It's so fast too. I'm like, I would just fly.
Yeah, that's probably the most iconic super gas car on the West Coast. Like, everybody knows that car. Everybody's scared of it. But yeah. As far as like, all right, so Pomona's this weekend. To postpone Winter Nationals in the summertime in basically July, August. How hot is it going to be? Is it going to be bad? Because you're a California girl, right? I'm
a California girl for sure. I live like 45 minutes from there.
So how bad is it going to be? How slow are you going to be in Pomona this week?
I don't know. I have not looked at the weather yet for it, but it's pretty like humid right now because that storm that's coming through there. I know you guys had it. So it's just passing through over here, but it's probably going to be hot.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We skipped Sonoma. We ran Denver last week, and it's like, God, I can't wait to get back to sea level to go fast again. But I'm like, it's probably going to be just as slow in Pomona because it's so hot.
Like, fortunately, like this weekend was really nice. Like, Sonoma has great weather all the time.
Yeah, it's fast all the time. Yeah.
It was nice and cool there.
Very cool. Well, listen, congratulations on an awesome weekend. Now that's your first national. Have you won in a divisional before?
I have not.
Oh, so you just jumped right over and said we're gonna go big.
Yeah, the hell with those small races.
Exactly.
Very cool, Shelby. That's that's an awesome way to do it. And congratulations. And I got a feeling we might be talking to you again.
I'd love that. Thank you guys.
You're very welcome. Have a great afternoon and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Nice talking to you all.
All right,
Shelby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Great job. Great job. I'll see you in a couple of days, and tell Trey to stay off the White Claws.
I will.
See you.
All right, Shelby. All right, very cool. Shelby Williams, your stock eliminator winner from this past weekend, first national event winner, and her first Wally. So very cool. So Steve is going to join us around 7:30. So it was a good thing that I printed all of this out. So Pete, you want to start? Let's start with new media.
Start with the media. Okay, so we had
the divisional at the media.
Start at the divisional.
Yes, sir.
Even though they ran the open first.
Yeah, let's be different.
Nobody cares about the open. No, just kidding.
That's not very nice. I'll bet you there's 3 people that care a lot about the open.
I'm joking. Everybody cares about
the 90s. Okay, so as most people know, New Media had a double this weekend. They started on Thursday and Friday with the National Open, and then Saturday and Sunday were the divisional. I believe it was the 3rd divisional, Division 1.
Yes.
So my partner in crime wants to start with the divisional, so here we go. Super Cup, good friend of mine, James Antonetti. He won his 12th divisional Wally with a 16 light, running 891 with a 6. He defeated Don Bangs 018. He ran an 888 with a 3. In Super Gas, the winner was Ryan Source, catching his 4th divisional Wally. He did it with a 16 light and he ran a 992 with a 0. He defeated Tommy Allen with a 32 light and a 992 with a 6. On the Super Street, a name, if you're in Division 1, you're very familiar with, Brian Sawyer with a 30 light and a 1091 with a 5. Beat another good friend of mine, Chris D. Pascal. Jerron also has a very soft spot in his heart for him. He went 055 and he ran dead 2, 1090 with a 2. And Brian captured his 7th divisional Wally.
Are we gonna rush through that like that? We're not gonna talk about Chris getting his butt kicked in the final.
Yeah, no, because I red lit in the first round, so I have no.
Well, and
way
I
can
can't
pick on anybody.
I can't turn the win light on either. But we got to talk. I mean, Chris, he's dead too. The car's there. It needs a driver. I can talk because my car needs a driver too.
So you recognize when a car needs a driver.
I recognize. All right, but no, I mean both of you. I mean Sawyer definitely is like a legend in D1 Super Street. I mean,
Yep.
you know the entire Sawyer family is our legends
Exactly.
in
Yeah,
Division
without
One
doubt.
Supercast. Yeah,
And a lot of the
But-
Super Gas and Super Street, absolutely.
yeah. But like Super Count with Don Banks, like everybody knows Don Banks has like the worst throttle stop settings ever.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, Don Bangs runnered up in both the open race and the divisional.
Well, I didn't say it was bad as in he doesn't win. I'm bad because
Right.
he tricks you. Like
Right.
I ran him before, and it's like, oh, he broke. Like we all know the old deal with somebody ran a throttle stop. You're like, oh, I think he broke. When it was like your bracket racing.
Right.
No,
right.
Don Bangs throttle stop looks like he breaks, and it's like it's impressive. Like Don Bangs is the man.
I do have to say that both James Antonetti and Chris D did not attend the open race. So they came out of the trailer cold on Saturday morning. They were actually camping all week, and they rolled in on Friday night like it was their job with 400 junior dragsters, 2 motorhomes, 2 trailers. It looked like a friggin' 3-ring circus when they pulled in. And excuse my French, they unloaded and absolutely kicked ass. James Antonetti, I can't tell you the last time he was in a super comp ride.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like he's like super stock guy. Like
He always ran super stock. He's taken a break from the super stocker for a while. Chris D, because they were camping together, said, why don't you come to the track, let your kids run juniors, and you race my car and I'll race my dad's Vega. And talk about taking to it like a fish to water.
No, for sure.
And if you look, I only stayed for the first 2 rounds, and his packages were ridiculous. I want to say his second round package was like an 11 total.
Yeah, for sure. No, he was doing good.
He was on it, and Chris was no slouch either in the Vega. We all know that he won the Dave Stein race, mainly because he'll never let us forget it. But yeah, it was impressive to see them roll in with all their kids, their wives. I mean, they had dogs, you name it. And they just came in and they rocked it, no doubt.
Obviously, Chris let James know about the reverse button, the toggle switch. So that's I'm pretty happy he let him know about that. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Chris, do you want to finish up with the divisional results?
Yes, let's start it off with junior dragster, age 6 to 9. And actually, if we have time, we're going to talk about a little something we got planned for the junior dragsters later
Absolutely.
on. One of Pete's friends, the last name of Stack, the first name of Eli, was the winner over Landon Kennedy. Kennedy with the starting line advantage, but Stack held on for the win, and approximately 7 feet was the margin of victory. Congratulations. In 10 to 12-year-old Zach Gale over another one of the Stack boys, over James Stack. Gale with a starting line advantage, runs dead on with a 0 for the win. So congratulations. Junior dragster 13 to 17. That is the age out group. Robert Fortuna over Frankie Aragona III. The next generation is warming up, Pete.
Yeah.
Robert won over Frank. Fortuna had the starting line advantage and held on for the win. Congratulations. Tommy Tate, top dragster. Pete Biondo over Richard Jameson. Biondo dialed a oh, that's right. They ran 8th mile too. Top Dragster, Top Sportsman ran 8th.
Correct.
So that's a reminder for that. Pete Biondo over Richard Jameson. Biondo dialed a 452, had a 007 light, ran 453 with a 5 over red lighting Richard Jameson, who dialed 418, ran a 419 with a 4. Tommy Tape Top Sportsman, Robert Fortuna over Ronnie Proctor, one of our past guests. Robert dialed a 506, ran a 506 with a 4, had a 22 light. And Ronnie runnered up with a 433 dial, ran a 435 with an 8, even though Ronnie had the advantage on the starting line with a 006 light to a, again, 022. So 23-inch margin of victory in Top Sportsman. Stock Eliminator, a name that we've talked about a couple of times already this year in Division One. Joe Santangelo over probably one of the legends in Division One and somebody that I know. And I've known Bob Broadbent since I was about 6 years old. He used to work for my family's garage over in Northampton. So Joe Santangelo dialed a 1055, ran a 1057 with a 4, had a 29 light to take out Broadbent, who dialed a 1022, ran a 1026 with a 7, and had a 31 light. So congratulations. And that was Joe's 20th Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Wally.
Wow.
Destined for greatness. He'll be replacing some of the guys when they age out, when they decide to retire, if they ever do. He's already got a lot of experience under his belt, not just in super stock and stock, but in comp as well. And I'm sure he's ran a couple of dragster classes somewhere in there, but I don't know for absolute certain.
Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's see. Super stock, round 7 eliminations. Kyle Huntsberry, 004 light, 1016 dial, ran dead on with a 16 over Shane Oakes, 008 light, dialed a 1003, ran a 1001 with a 7. So congratulations to Kyle. Comp Eliminator, Mark Hopkins. I'm not even going to try to figure out the index system because I'll just do it the simple way. Mark Hopkins, 35 light, 779 with a 6 over Frank Aragona, one of the best in comp eliminator in the entire universe. 087 light, 747 to take the runner-up spot. And this is Mark Hopkins' first Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Wally in his 3rd final. One of the things that we have been saying a lot this year, Pete, first-time winner.
Yes, I like that.
We've said that at least once every show so far this year.
Yeah, good stuff.
I like that Mark Hopkins won. He's in a Beretta, the D-Ultra car, and that's a clutch car. He went 49 under, which is a stout run, but Frankie gave up a lot on the tree, being 87. He went 5,200, couldn't catch him, but for I didn't know that was Mark's first Lucas Oil win. That's pretty cool. He's been around for a while and been dropping the clutch for a long time. And speaking of dropping the clutches, you talked about Joe Santangelo, which again is one of the greats, going to go down in history as one of the greats. But Bob Broadbent has been dropping the clutch on that 69 Camaro, rolling the gears for 40, 50 years. Like, that is just, it's amazing to me. Like, he was one of my favorite, growing up my dad raced stick cars forever. So I was a stick guy, still am. And like, those guys still, some of those older guys that are still in there, like, they're going on 60, 70 years old, still banging gears. And we don't even shift our power glides.
Right. It's oh my God, my air cylinder's low.
Exactly. Yeah, they're making a slick pad. But so I definitely want to give a huge shout out to Broadbent. Like, that's just that's just amazing to me that and he'll switch between A stock and C stock and D stock, like, motor combinations weekly, it seems like, and the car's fast too. So he's impressive. He's one of my favorites.
I know, again, growing up, watching him work on that car in my family's garage in Northampton. He had the 302, he had the 396. Every car was a 4-speed, and I believe that when him and his brother bought that Camaro and had it painted, I think that is the original paint that is on
Yeah, I
there.
think so. I think so too. Yep.
And
It's
that
been
was,
around
that
for
was
a
done
long
by Steve Coltrera, a name I know both of you guys know.
Yes,
I
sir.
can remember when that car got painted. It was
I remember going to Lebanon Valley as a kid, and they would have a super stock beat up there, and I remember seeing him. Broadbent. I mean, he's as iconic as the LeBron family and all them. It's
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
think stock eliminator, and you think of those names, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
the,
Yeah.
the wagon, the bright green wagon, the Sourpuss too. Remember
That's
that one?
that's my cousin. That's Timmy Tasmer owns it now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he's been bracket racing that car for about 200 years. He bought it from the Sourpuss owner.
Yep.
Very cool.
I don't
Awesome.
know if I stopped you before you got to it, or if I fell asleep listening to Pete snore. But I don't know if you did super gas or not.
Yeah,
At
would
the
you like me to
divisional.
do it again because you
Oh,
don't
that's
know-
right. No, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Pete kind of flew through it. Brian Source, like that's a name that's been that he was like iconic in super gas, super street, super comp in the 90s, and then kind of disappeared and went bracket racing for a little bit. Now he's back racing with his daughter in juniors, and to see him come back out and get a victory is pretty cool. He took out Iggy, he took out Uzo. You know, the guy's a hitter and been a hitter for a long time.
Why don't we do this? Let's hit Sonoma, and then that should lead us into about when our guest is due to arrive.
you want to
Division.
you want to wrap up the media with the Open, and we'll save the National for last.
No, let's do this one. Be a little
Okay.
bit shorter.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
Division 46.
Yeah.
Division 46, racing on the volcano. All right, Top Fuel, Steve Torrance over Leah Pruitt. Funny Car, Robert Height over Matt Hagan. Pro Stock, Aaron Stanfield defeated Dallas Glenn. Pro Stock Bike, Karen Stouffer over Andrew Hines. Comp Eliminator. Oh boy, this could get ugly. Ralph Van Pappagum.
What do you got, John? We all know you know his name. So what is it?
And was
Ralph
I close?
Ralph Pantagum.
I was close. All right.
That and he's a guy that's been racing literally. I somebody joked yesterday, but I think
You're muted. yourself.
Steve tried to call me that. I think he honestly has been chasing national events for 50 years, and that was his first
Wow.
national event win. Yeah.
So there is still hope for me, is what you're saying.
I think for both of us. I think I'm gonna beat him though. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna go for like 52 or 53 years before my first national event win. But yeah, so I got there's hope. So I'm gonna go out real quick because Steve just tried to call me. I think he's trying to get in.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll be right back.
You got
Very
it.
good. Again, Comp Eliminator. He defeated Tony Mandela, who broke and was a no-show. Super Stock, Mike Loge over Dennis Paz. And it's something you don't see in Super Stock a whole lot, a Chevy El Camino.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and our guest this evening, it's Stock Eliminator winner, first time national event winner. Of course, Shelby Williams took out one of the best in the entire planet in Stock Eliminator, Justin Lamb. Super Comp, Marco Paravolis, and I'm pretty sure we've said that name a couple times already this year too.
Uh-huh.
Maybe nationally, but at least divisionally.
Yep.
Defeated Phil Nagel.
Yeah, that was a double breakout. Marco was 4th thou under, and Phil ran a 886 with a 3.
Yes. All right. Super Gas, Kevin Griffiths over Ryan Giacone.
Yep, also a double breakout.
Yep.
But Kevin only went under by 1 thou, and Ryan went under by 100.
Yep. Top Sportsman, Dan Borg over Ed Open. Top Dragster, John Richardson over Paul Nero. So congratulations to everybody that won at Sonoma this weekend.
And Super Street obviously was not contested.
Yes, that is correct. Now that's only one divisional. one national event per division. Is that correct, Pete?
Super Street is contested in one division, one national event per division.
Okay.
I knew I'd get that out one way or another.
One way or another.
It wasn't pretty, but you all know what I mean.
Yeah, we got the point, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, Jerron, where are we at, buddy? He doesn't know. He's lost.
Yeah.
He's in purgatory. Jason said that he misses you, Pete.
Yeah, Jason Lawrence?
Yeah.
I didn't see he was on. I'm trying to keep track of the. I get where's Scott? We fired Scott. No, we decided for the people that want to know, we decided that when we do heads up stuff that he'll be on. Chris and I are the two main hosts. We'll bounce back and forth with Jerron and Scott pretty much just so they don't fight with each other.
Yeah, we got to increase the
Who's fighting? Who was? I want to fight. Who are y'all talking about? Me,
listen, we have your guest on. Just sit back and be quiet.
Take a breath. Wusa. I know you know what Wusa is.
I mean, I heard Chris's name. I heard Fight. I heard Don Bangs who beat me.
Fired up.
I heard Shelby's won a national event, and I mean, I heard a lot of stuff to fired up about. And we got the most fired up guy in pro stock motorcycle history, Steve. Yes, he's still muted. He's still muted. Steve, unmute yourself.
Bottom left, Steve, just unmute yourself.
He's coming. He's
testing 9 7 8 4 5 3 3 1.
Yeah, the guy can go 670s on a motorcycle, but can't join a Zoom meeting. I don't know.
Now don't say that. I'm. So are we? When do we start?
You're on.
You're on.
We've got. Right. There are 36 million people watching right now. So just know.
So it's not quite what the Today Show is.
No, exactly. Yeah. We're right under that.
I just want to let you know I'm working out like Angel and Angie. They're like the buff girls and everything. I just got finished, so I'm just kind of working out. I'm here at my workout place.
What is that?
I see a pizzeria.
I was just saying, with the red letters, I was gonna go with Five Guys.
Looks like you got the same workout plan, pal.
Oh, you got my back, dog. Thank God somebody figured that one out. Oh my God. Yeah. We're out here checking out the gun show, wherever that is. Yeah, there's the gun show. Angie and Angel are up at Dark 100. I hear Angie works on. I take my mask off because I'm. Oh, wow! Hot news right off the press. My shirts are in stock, so I'm sending shirts out through the post office today. Not that it's a shameless plug or anything, but you can find out the shirts on Facebook. It's the quickest Suzuki ever, by the way.
Absolutely.
If you like Suzukis and you're tired of that V twin junk, V twin stuff, then you can jump on our bandwagon.
Well, that was going to be one of my first questions. Like, it's like you read my mind. Karen Stouffer winning yesterday on a Suzuki. You won this year on a Suzuki. Like, the Suzukis are back. Like, are we finally going to get some old time, like, good Jap bike freaking racing again?
I'm still reading your mind. Oh my God. Oh my God. The viewership just skyrocketed. Wow, this guy is awesome. Oh yes. It's our racing is so good right now. I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to entertain. The biggest media moguls in the world want to entertain. The Facebooks and the Instagrams, all those people. But, obviously we all love drag racing. So NHRA drag racing, and we're kicking butt right now. Our class is hot. We've got girls and guys and black and white and purple and green and Suzuki and V twin. And we got a jack wagon leading the points. We got a knucklehead, knuckleheads. We got all kinds of people. It's really, and here's the deal. Here's a word that everybody wants to talk about today. It's authentic. He's a knucklehead. He knows it, but it's not really his fault. That's how we're raised, in certain stages. So, everybody wants to push to win, and he's doing his job. But oh my gosh, if everybody gets a 10 speed and he wanted a 10 speed, he'd be mad because his wasn't an 11 speed. He'd be writing to Santa Claus, "Hey Santa, what the heck, man? Why you give everybody the same as me?"
You know what the best part about this interview is? The host don't have to say shit.
I know. I'm like, I got all my notes and I'm just throwing them away.
Screw them notes.
Hold on, I got to go back to the gym. I'm going back to the gym.
Get extra pepperoni at the gym for us, please.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
exactly.
nice. Everybody in New Jersey would say that ain't pizza in California, man. I don't know what you call it.
This is very true.
Our buddy Harvey Dean's on the war team, and he won this weekend with that team. And he tells us all the time about what kind of cheese to buy. Well, that is not real cheese. And he goes off on the New Jersey, New York stuff. So I gotta admit, the New York pizza folder in half, and Mike's Pizza out there on I don't know what it was, 6. Oh God, that's awesome. Anyway, where we go?
I'll try one more time to get in a technical question, and then we'll let you just run with it.
No. Go ahead. Ask.
No. Honestly, I'm loving it. I don't care. The people are loving it too. The 4-valve stuff. You're on a 4-valve. Was Karen's bike a 4-valve bike? I
am disconnected with a lot of the other teams, but I do not believe. I believe they made some statement that they were running 2 valves, and they ran a 2-valve this weekend. I don't know if Jerry ran a 2-valve or not, but the technical question was in reference to the 4-valve having some resurgent, right?
Yep.
I did a horrible job this weekend tuning our motorcycle. We went 672 with a 9 at Charlotte, which is rumored to be downhill. But it had 105 correction factor, and it was, I don't know, it was like 3,000 feet. We were at 1,200 feet in Sonoma. So, and hey, at the end of the day, again, I'll say that 12 times today, but it's like, I'm learning. I love the education of our sport. And that's, I wish people that were really in the know could share some of the information and still protect their net revenue.
Sure.
But I mean, our drag race world has to get better. The old guys can't leave with all the information, so somehow they need to figure out a way to create a revenue source out of that information. And I definitely want to do it. So my point is with the knowledge that we have, we didn't do a good job of tuning our motorcycle this weekend. We really should have gone quicker.
Yeah, I kind of expected to see 60s there, to be honest with you.
He said it. He said the word 60.
Do you think we'll see a 60 this year?
I think so. I really think so. I think Reading is an opportunity. Maybe sometimes Pomona in late November, is good. And isn't there something else? Bristol won't be.
No.
But sometimes St. Louis is really good, but the motorcycles don't go to St. Louis this year. So
yeah. Well, with Pomona this weekend being 900 degrees, what do you expect to see there? Mid 80s?
No, I want to do a better job and run 70s with horrible weather. So that's. I mean, I don't know what the correction is. I know people could say, hey. In our race pack, for those of you that don't know everything about some of the behind the scenes software, we have a program. If you hang around with the Pro Stock Car guys, you can always enter in the atmospheric conditions and enter in your ET. And then in another column, it will show you a correction factor based upon sea level and adjust your ET. And they call that, they always call that, what does it correct to? And if you use that correction factor, I think we could run high 70s, which would correct back to 0. My fastest thing ever went 661 corrected to 0. So
Wow.
technically, that's how bad of a job we did at Sonoma. If our best run, which was in Denver, a 712 with legal gas, legal height, hashtag, put that in your pipe, hashtag jackwagon.
Are you sure it was legal height?
Well, I started trying to be a little bit of a jackwagon myself. You're right. It wasn't legal height, but the tech department's my friend and they just let me go by anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't even understand why they would want to just try to damage my brand or our brand. Actually, that's what I always had the issue with the hobbyist thing, is because he dogged out us for being hobbyists, and he dogged out the sanction body for the way that we check people, the way they check people. And I thought that really created a negative environment for the sanction body. If people can't believe that the sanction body is doing the absolute best job that they can, and their ultimate goal is to have two vehicles crossing the finish line as the most exciting thing ever, really, really close to each other, an inch apart, that's their goal. They don't wake up saying, I want this guy to win or this girl to win. I mean, we all know Angel would sell more tickets if she was going 760 at 206, but we all know what the sanction body ultimately wants to do. And I honestly don't think that they get off of that program. And for him to insinuate that they're doing a bad job is detrimental to the brand of the sanction.
Sure.
So, and I made a T-shirt that said "Hobbyists matter too." For those of you that don't know, Matt, said that if we all as racers did a better job, we wouldn't need weight breaks. We would be able to deal with the weight the way it is. And he said he works every day, which I believe he probably does. But I was trying to say, what's the difference between Roger Penske running a huge corporation and all his people setting up the car and delivering it and having a great preparation and buying their engine from Roush Yates? What's the difference in that versus staying at home and building your own engine?
You got a lot of that going on in pro stock car right now. People leasing cars, leasing engines. Yeah,
exactly. And it's, I mean, look around, look at our environment. Look at the millionaires, supposed millionaires that are making money selling stuff on the internet, and getting their commission. And all of a sudden we have things called influencers now. Our world is changing, and I know everybody knows that. And we as drag racers, we just want to go out there with full fields. Well, me, I'd rather have one person, but I'd rather just go win the race. I want to go win the race, but I want people in the stands. I mean, I want sponsors there.
Right.
We had a meeting in Denver talking about trash talk about the racetracks, saying racetracks are unsafe or short or things like that. And I really wanted to help racers understand the repercussions of so-called potty mouth on TV, and to talk bad about our tracks or our sanction body is just it's a negative connotation that just has no value to it. And just I always want to inspire people to be fantastic human beings, but it's like you don't have to do that, but you sure as heck don't have to talk trash about our racetracks. And somebody's with a pro stock bike is going to come out with a parachute on the back of their bike, mounted on the wheelie bar like a Top Fuel bike. And Oh my gosh. If Corey Reed somebody said Corey Reed hit the wall or something like that. If he would have pulled the parachute while he was going against the wall, people were saying he would have crashed. So the parachute thing is not an answer. Rolling off the throttle to finish line is a better way to slow the vehicle down, especially without a parachute and a 1-inch contact patch on your front tire.
Right. So, Steve,
So go ahead.
I had 2 questions for you, but you pretty much already answered one. It was going to be about the whole Matt Smith deal, but you beat me to that, so that was easy.
I can go into further detail if you like.
We'll see how much time we got left on the show. But I have to ask you, and it's actually on a personal level. There's been times where, the V Twins, Harley Davidson has dominated. And your program seemed to struggle, obviously, along with a lot of other programs. How do you keep the motivation? How do you keep the drive to come back from seemingly something that's insurmountable to, oh my God, you're number 2 in points and you're knocking down races and how do you do it?
Pizza.
Well,
Pizza. Yeah.
I spend a lot of time at the gym, man. I'm very, very focused at the gym. And I'll have the 2 medium special for $4.95. That's just good material, man. I'll tell you, I think a little bit is about my character. I was fortunate. John Asher was a writer for many, many, many years, and he took me under his wing in the 80s and said, this is how you get a sponsor. In California, at 15 and a half, you can get a learner's permit. And with that learner's permit, you can drive a car with mom, but you can ride a motorcycle by yourself, right? So wow. I'm done at 11th grade, and I'm riding over to these people's houses. I go see girls. I'm like, I'm like Rico Suave. I got my own wheels, right? So then you start hot rodding, street light to street light. Then you learn about the drag. Then you street racing, and then it really escalates. Beckman and Larry Dixon, Karen Stouffer. A handful of people. I'm not trying to drag them into the mud. I'm just trying to say that this was our environment in Los Angeles, in Los Angeles County, and street racing was big. We didn't have drag strips. And so, but then we all learned about professionalism through drag racing and doing it at the racetrack, which is safe. It's a career-based option. And, in theory, you can make a living doing it, which gets back to answering your question. As I learned about sponsorship and got very, very fortunate with John's education and I feel like a lot of luck and some hard work. I presented marketing plans and it became a career. People were winning races. George Bryce and Vance and Star Racing and Vance and Hines were winning races. Dave Schultz, but it was my career. It's how I made money. And even though I wasn't winning, I still had a paycheck, and I was still doing what I loved. And you could ask me about the left lane or the right lane, the maybe not even, or maybe a crown, or maybe there's a bump at 660 or something like that. I didn't know a lot about that, but I knew where the shrimp cocktail was in the Winston Suite. I mean, it was awesome. So the fact that I was getting a paycheck is very, very motivating to drag race. But my mom had even said to me, after 16 years of racing and not winning, she says, have you ever thought of construction? Have you ever thought of plumbing? What about your father, in auto parts or something like that? So I was committed. And then in 2004, we won our first race, beat I think Craig Treble in the finals. And man, I was like rejuvenated and stuff. And my initiative in life is to inspire young people to have a skilled trade and get educated. So if you quit, that's the worst thing in the world to do, is to quit anything, because then your brain becomes programmed. As soon as you don't like something, you quit, and then it just creates a negative connotation. So I'm doing it for myself because I love drag racing. I think is a fair answer, and it's a long answer, but I still think that besides winning races and having millions of dollars and all those things, it's truly my mission in life to inspire people to be fantastic human beings and get educated on life and have a skilled trade.
Awesome. Thank you for getting into that, because that's pretty good motivation to try and keep the ball rolling, without a doubt.
Yeah,
For sure.
And it's hey, it's at the same time it's fun. I mean, I left out the part where I went to the drag races and there were girls there, and I'm like, gosh, darn, there's girls everywhere here. So
did you carry your gym membership card with you to try and impress them? Yeah, that one right there. You get 4 slices and you get the 5th one for free.
I cannot wait to do the sponsor report on this interview and then send it back to Pyology's been one of my favorites.
Biology.
There will be nobody that laughs harder than you guys when it's on the back of the bike at the U.S. Nationals, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If they don't sponsor you after this, it's a crime.
We know where Jerron's going to be looking for a free meal for next week.
Yeah, right.
I'll be in his trailer looking for pizza for sure. For sure.
But that's a great segue into I think our sport and the landscape of our sport is really primed to engage new people into our sport, specifically sponsors, and to help racing teams. I truly think there's options out there. I'm going to pitch one again this weekend. In Pomona. And I have a couple of big ones that I'm going to work on, and I'm excited about them from the standpoint of, I really want to up my game. Jock and I, who, he was 24 days on a ventilator, and less than 10% survived after 21 days on a ventilator. So he is a superhuman, and oh boy, he got his dreads weaved back in, and the girls are like, "Yo, hi, Joe! Oh, we're so happy! We're so happy!" And he just got married, so he's off the market, so to speak. But he is such a superstar at the races, and I'm proud. For the corny part of your show, it's hard to look at him without seeing him with the ventilator in his mouth, and so that's still weird.
Yeah,
to think
Jock's
about.
the man for sure.
Yeah, but he survived that, and it shows with proper care of not only your own body, but proper care from healthcare workers, especially UAB Hospital in Birmingham. You can survive a lot of things, especially COVID, and you have an opportunity to be grateful back to that group of people. We so many drag racers helped us buy meals for all those people, the night staff and the morning staff, the day staff, and they loved this Taco Mama place. They just loved it. I had the code to the break room. I'd bring it every other day for both shifts. I spent every waking moment there, updating the blog and doing all that stuff. So my point there is it's so webcam to thank people and to have true gratitude in your heart. Whether it's a vendor supplying you cams like webcam or APE, our sponsors, Vance and Hines, still makes the best crankshaft on the planet. We don't have a Vance and Hines cylinder head. We have a monster cylinder head, but all these people that help us, it's so easy to say thank you to them, and thank you sometimes turn into little sponsors, and that thought process helps you think about those thank yous in a bigger scale, which ultimately has a return on investment, which might lead to a bigger sponsor. So having gratitude that cost you nothing ultimately, even taking a bag of hard candy to your local hospital, especially the ICU, it can manifest into something really big.
So Steve, I have one question for you. Knowing that nobody's going to race forever, when do you kind of pick that time to say, all right, I need to start looking for the next generation to put on my bike?
Oh, I win one championship. I'm done and gone. Married, kids, white picket fence, my gal. Whoa!
Again, he can ride a bike, but he can't hold on to a phone.
He says he's gonna call it quits when he wins a championship. That's how I feel about winning the next round.
I know. Yeah, if I win first round of Pomona Friday, I'm retiring.
Pete said I could come up for round 2. Screw that, I retired.
Good. Exactly.
I did what I wanted to do. I'm all set.
That's right. But it was a buy round. I don't care. I'm out of here.
The way it's going, if I can light the electricity on a time run, I'll be happy.
Yeah, right. I'm excited when the stage bulbs come on. That's the most hype. Oh, look, I turned them both on and they're staying on. Hallelujah.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, this guy here. What the?
Now's the waiting game to see how long it takes for him to come back.
I think we ought to get Matt Smith on now, because I think Matt might be able to hold his phone and not crash the Droid or Apple or whatever. Steve,
what was he calling? A jackwagon?
A jackwagon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to Matt. We're gonna have to get Matt on here and see what he says. See what kind of nicknames he has for Steve.
Hello.
We hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Right,
can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you.
So how do I get it off of safe driving mode? What in the heck have I done? It says leave meeting. No.
Freaking Pro Stock Motorcycle Pilot.
Your video has stopped.
Driving mode.
Your microphone is
He'll be able to
unmuted.
fix it for you.
Yeah.
So do you guys have an answer?
Yeah.
Matt Smith said he can get it off the safe driving mode. I think he hung up on us.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he went on mute, and that's the end of it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So how do I get this off of safe driving mode?
I have.
Is it connected to your car maybe or something? Your Bluetooth?
Your video has stopped. When I hit the phone, when I hit the cord, it went kaboom.
Actually, if I were you, I would try just dropping the phone again and see what happens.
I did that 6 times getting on the plane. When I saw the flight attendant walk in, I'm like, damn, that is smoking right there.
Look, Matt and Angie are calling in to see if they can help you get that off of a safe driving mode.
I just want to use their procedures in getting 160 cubic inches to race against 113 cubic inches. Oh, by the way, Matt's telling everybody, just in case you don't think he's a big enough jackwagon, he tells everybody, well, I'm going to build a inline 4 monster head, and I'm going to show everybody really how fast they go. I'm like, wow, your arrogance is really not trumped by anything more than, say, a giraffe. Gosh darn, you're such a knucklehead.
Hey, well, why don't you try and just leave and then come back in and see if the video works?
Okay,
we got just a little bit more time for you.
All right, I'm doing it right now.
One of the most important things that we got to talk about, is, well, I can't say it until he's back in, but I got, this is okay. So it's important for me, maybe not for the world or for our viewers or anybody else.
If it's important to you, Jerron, it's important to all of us.
Well,
that means it's got to be food based.
No, it's not food based. It's urethane based. Steve is known for in my book, and if someone else can find proof, but I think he's the very first to do this. If he ever comes back on, I'll tell you what it is. Some people know. Some people should know what I'm talking about, because we're it's me here. All right. So what do I do?
We are here for you.
And also, I'd like to give out a shameless plug, since we're waiting on Steve. Ted Weens Tire and Auto, complete auto repair. Got on the signature Ted Weens Motorsports apparel that can't be bought anywhere.
Direct competition for me, but thanks, John. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, they're about 4,600 miles from you, so I don't think he's
Listen.
back.
People will drive for a tune-up.
Now,
So,
just
all right,
yourself.
now you got to unmute yourself. You got to. You're still muted. You're still muted.
Okay.
There he is. He's
How
unmuted.
am I doing
Back.
now? How am I doing?
You're doing good.
So anyway, there's new sponsors that I've been talking about. What? I'm just over here. I'm just
Petco. He got Petco on board.
Yeah, Petco. Yeah.
I got a couple dogs and animal. I've been an animal lover all my life. I mean, I watch the Animal Channel. I got subscribed to YouTube's. That's the. You guys haven't asked me about broccoli. You know, when your body is designed to produce about 7.4, 7.6 ratio of pH, you learn about the pH in your blood through your arterial blood gases, and that's what determines your health when you have COVID. When your lungs cannot bring in the oxygen through your alveoli, and that's what puts it in the bloodstream. That's what mixes it in the bloodstream and helps refortify your blood. So if you can't get any oxygen in through your lungs, through the alveoli, and then fortify your blood, then your arterial blood gases go down the drain. So one of the things you learn about is the pH. And if you eat a lot of pH green stuff, your body doesn't steal from your bones to keep the pH at its recommended level that God gives you when he built your body. So if you do that, you don't lose bone density. And that's a very, very valuable part of that. I don't know how I got there from Petco.
I just want to ask you a quick question about that. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, no. That's not asking that. I just want to know. I get what he's.
You're not dense.
No, I get what he's talking about. So what I picked up from that is I need to get spinach on my pizza. Is what you're telling me.
Yes, for sure. Joking aside, anything green, but you have to eat. You know, if you go into living nature's way, the guys that say you got to drink all this water every day, name one armivore that's a meat eater. Name one armivore that goes. Can you see an armivore running to the stream and drinking one 10 ounces 10 ounce proportion of his body weight? There's no animal in history has ever done that. No animal wakes up eating breakfast. Oh, gotta have breakfast. Gotta have breakfast. And they live, Eskimos, people that live in these people that have these incredible health issues and not eating processed food all the time. If that's your gig, that's one of the things that you can pay attention to is nature. The best diet in the world is not the one that you pay $79.95 a month for. It's a Mother Nature. That's the best. That's the best diet.
Well, look. Speaking of gigs, I gotta bring this question in because we got all of like a half a listener that's waiting to hear what you're famous for, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to get my my shirt on TV. So it's even though it's backwards, it says quickest pro stock Suzuki. No, quickest NHRA Camping World Pro Stock Suzuki ever. And there's a Suzuki logo, which is branded by Suzuki. So it's a branded, approved t-shirt. It's got a monster logo from the cylinder head, the 4-valve cylinder head that very few people run these days in pro stock. Chris Bostic has one. Rhett Lockheed has one on Katie Sullivan's. And there's a handful of monster cylinder heads in Australia, believe it or not. And anyway, wow. Right now, the quickest Suzuki ever is 6:72.9 seconds at 198. I'm the slow boat to China that hasn't gone 200 miles an hour. Matt went 205 in Sonoma with the 300 mile an hour tailwind. But he did it right next to me. I promise you, there's no way in hell I would have gone 199 if I would have been in the lane with anybody else. He went by me so fast that I picked up a 0.4 in the mile an hour. It was incredible.
Jerron, send him my address. I want one of those shirts.
Oh, yeah, right. For sure. I'm getting one next week. All right, so look, the thing that Steve Johnson is most famous for in my book is the first rider, driver, competitor in drag racing to have a wild painted helmet.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
Nobody had, like, okay, so painted helmets have been around for years. You know this. But the stuff that I do is what, I mean, Steve's helmet, the old Slick 50 helmet is what got me thinking about, hey, I need to paint like that. And like, nobody knows, nobody, like, this guy should be on a freaking mantle somewhere for custom paint helmets, custom painted helmets. That's paint
Bob Fry said in 1989, he said, that Steve, that is the ugliest helmet I've ever seen in my life. And I went to the Roadster show. In Oakland. It's a very, very famous show.
Yep.
And it was so cool because there were just so, all the Roadster guys were drag racers at one time, and they all loved the fact that, hey, I've seen this guy on TV. Everybody was watching back then. So it was just straight up cool that I got so much publicity for the ugliest painted helmet.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was like the first non-symmetrical, just crazy all over. Because everybody back then had like straight stripes and whatever. But you were like, who? What was the idea? What was the concept? Did you just tell the guy do whatever?
John Pugh is a famous, probably one of the
I know John.
most respected guys in the painting world. And he said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want something crazy wild." And it was really his design. He helped me put it on the map. But if you want to get a hold of John Pugh, or actually anybody, if you really want to reach out to somebody and really talk to them and really get involved and really do things, there's really a great way to get involved with people. And that is
with T-Mobile.
And that's with T-Mobile.
This guy's a genius.
I really think when you're thinking about a clear connection, really being able to communicate with loved ones, T-Mobile is really about the best way you could ever do it.
Yeah, and this is coming from my Verizon phone. Yeah.
All I know, Pete, is that we have dropped the ball with advertising. Like we've. I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I don't have any more sponsors, and well, I see why.
We need to do a live with you, Jerron, so you can walk around a shopping center.
I'm thinking. Yeah. Well, when I get thirsty, there's only one drink.
That's not a Coke product. That's not a Coke product. Yeah. I still am in love. I'm still in love with the Coke guys, but they did so much for our sport, and I.
They did, but I like camping more than anything, and in this world, there's only one thing to do, and that's camp. Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you the camping world for sure, because that Marcus Lemonis has a heck of a TV show, and I love the fact that he's a businessman and he sees so much value in our sport.
Yep, for sure. He definitely came on and saved us, so to speak.
You talk about people getting saved. Those guys in the forklifts that are at Amazon and they're zipping around trying to meet their deadline by how many packages how many boxes that they filled per day. Well, when they zip around and they destroy a pallet racking system, and that thing's filled with, hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds. Our buddies at MacRack, one of our sponsors, people say, "What is MacRack? It's all over your motorcycle." They provide an engineered solution to repair that damaged rack, that pallet rack. And if you have a warehouse or anything like that has lots of that pallet racking, or you want to protect them so people don't run into them, that's what MacRack does. So I wanted to show a throw up to them, because the ultimate deal of where I'm at right now is because of them. Both of them said, "Steve, how do you race?" Actually, I was doing a school program in Phoenix, and I had about 12 kids at Chris McGaha's, and he was teaching them about transmissions and about Pro Stock car, and bikes weren't racing there. And I asked him to help me with the school program to try to, engage young people about skilled trades and engineering and all that stuff. So I was taking pictures, and this guy says to me, "Hey man, when are you going to have that? When are you going to get rid of that white bike?" And I looked at him, I'm like, "Huh?" He says, "Yeah, what would it cost to get on that bike?" And that, as it's not really damaging to my ego, but that's how I got that sponsor.
That's pretty cool.
I went to a race. I went to a race that I wasn't racing at. So And so that's developed over the last couple of years into a great relationship. But his deal is the first year he helped, but it's like, hey, how do you race against people that you're buying the equipment from? And I'm like, well, there is one other place, and it's called a Monster Cylinder Head, but it's doing the engines ourselves. It's a whole new and he's like, go ahead. So the first engine I put together, it hand grenaded on the dyno, and all he says was, well, you're going to break a few eggs when you first get in the kitchen.
That's a good sponsor there. That's a good sponsor. Well, we already know that. Well, they don't know, but me and you know, we're gonna get rid of that white bike and that plain helmet here pretty soon. We're not gonna give too much away just yet. But yeah, that was a Slick 50 helmet. It was a Slick 50 bike when you debuted that helmet. But I'm not gonna say who's gonna paint your helmet or who's gonna paint your bike.
Yeah, I can't wait to have a real paint job. You know, one of my other sponsors, Bob Button, he says to me, he gives me 5 lists of things to do. You know, I want you with an arsenal of engines. I want you to make sure that you mention our name, and we're powered by the greatest employees in the world on TV, because he loves to hear that, and people hear it, and he loves his employees. And he had a few other things, but the last thing on his list is, I want your bike to look as good as Matt Smith's. His bike is shiny and polished all the time. I mean, who's going to admit that? I feel like I call it like I see him, you know, and people wouldn't say that, but it's like, that's the honest truth. That's what he told me. So my bike's wrapped by my buddy Taylor at Alpha Graphics, but they do a thing called drag wraps, and they wrap a whole bunch of junior dragsters, dragwraps.com, but it's hard to keep it polished.
Oh, I heard you talking about wraps. I fell asleep. I'm sorry. What were you talking about? Wraps?
Well, that's
wallpaper?
that's why I want to move. That's why I want to move to something shiny. It's like, everybody knows Bernstein was, not everybody, most people know that were around, he had the most professional program. Everybody strived to be like Bernstein. There was no wrap on his car. When you want to be a pro, you have a paint job. And that reflects,
I love this guy.
That reflects on the brand of who you are and the detail that you want in everything that you do. So there's no wrap that's going to keep up with, there's no wrap that's ever going to keep up with a paint job. And I painted my 69 Cougar with Emron. How about that? I think you're the only one that gets that.
Yeah, exactly.
Means a lot, Steve.
Hey, let me jump in real quick. We have one of our listeners owns a detailing shop in Connecticut, Pete, one of Pete's friends, and he said he'll happily ceramic coat your bike for you.
Yeah,
after it's painted.
I don't know how you ceramic coat vinyl. You ceramic coat
after it's painted.
After it's painted, Steve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need it painted. It definitely needs to be painted. But and looking at those, I just remember how beautiful that his red was. And Matt's bike looks good. I mean, that Denso, it pops, it's shiny. It's always the same. His bike looks good, man. And the Vance and Hines bikes are black. I think they're wraps and stuff, and they're in between sponsors and stuff. But the bikes that are painted, gosh,
Michael Phillips.
Well, he probably has the best looking paint job of anybody. Oh, who's the guy that your audience knows the class that I want to race? It's 460. It's called 460, I think.
Boo Brown.
Boo Brown. He has and John Hall. They both have really good looking motorcycles, and they're both paint, right?
Painted by
John Hall is actually local to me. He was
is he really?
Okay. In the same town I grew up in.
Yeah. But Boo Brown probably has the best looking 460 bike I've ever seen. I mean, it makes you want to be part of that class just by looking at his bike. And apparently he's a really good 460 driver too.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's won the championship a few times. Yeah. I painted his bike about 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. So, but there are so many areas that we as individuals we try to be better lovers. We try to be better husbands, wives, whatever people that are listening, everybody's striving to be better. And I know we want to be better in Pomona. if we really buckle down, and I'm going to have a lot of family and friends there, so it's really going to be challenging. That multitasking thing is fantastic to talk about, but I don't think you can do it. I don't think I can do it successfully. So I need to really be not the hospitality guy, but be the rider. And when I'm
Sure.
in the trailer, talk to my peeps, and there'd be nothing funner. Denver's the funnest race to win for me right now, but since that's going to be a wise off, did I tell you we ran a 712 there with legal gas? And you know, that whole thing with legal gas, just not to say anything bad, but we bought brand new gas after that issue and went and had it checked, and it still wasn't legal.
Wow.
So there was a little bit of an issue. And they got some contamination, anyway, they got it all figured out, and they supplied us gas. They wanted to have no problem. So they supplied us gas in the staging lanes for first round. So everybody felt comfortable. Everybody knew that there was no shenanigans going on. And that's a little bit of a credit to Bob Blackwell, whoever made that decision, and Ned, to alleviate, you know, all the racer chit chat about, oh, this fuel's good or that fuel's not good, you know? So we have Cyclone 17 for Suzuki's, and I think the V twins use SR 18. And trust me, there's a guy at the top that's complaining every day that somebody will listen to him about that. But the sanction body and the gas company don't know anything about it. But if you ask number one, he knows all about it.
Oh, wow, that's funny. But he has a pretty bike.
He darn sure has a pretty bike, and he can look from here to say the gym. He can look that far away, and he can see how low your bike is. And then he can put NHRA on blast if they won't check somebody's bike if he thinks that they're too low.
So let me ask you a question about that. Do they check you guys only in qualifying and once in eliminations, or is it every round as far as height?
No, when we started racing in 2020 with the pandemic, they implemented an entire rule package, and a lot of it was based upon spot checking of the tech department. So they come over to you anytime they wanted and check. So if you're gambling, you better hope that they don't come over there. Having said that, at Denver, when you came off the track on the first Q1, Bob was standing right there with no warning. He had the checker, and he rolled you up onto this flat piece of concrete, and he checked your bike with you sitting on it. It has to have a 2-inch piece of PVC go underneath it. And I think everybody was legal. So I just know what we were.
Sure. Gotcha.
Of course,
Well,
that's
I'm sure
that's according to us. According to JW, you know, that's
JW.
he says that our bike, he stood there and watched, and our bike wasn't legal. It went, and truly it did. He took the bar and he goes like that, and it goes clunk. That's because the bike wasn't level. So again, I'm not the most inferior. I'm not the most, I can't tell exactly horizontal plane. So I had to lean the bike level. He says, hey, lean the bike a little to the left so you're level. And I go, okay. And then the bar went right through. So, but on social media, JW and the team were like, woo, boy, his illegal fuel and his bike won't pass tech. Wow. You're a special individual, man. Special.
So Steve, going back to the sponsor a little bit, I just wanted to throw this out to you too, that the gentleman that said he'll ceramic coat your bike if you get it painted, said if you Pro Stock bike comes back to New England Dragway next year, come visit him at Elite Auto Detailing in Connecticut.
Oh, see, we loved Epping. That was a fun race. We had a little sponsor from a restaurant right around the street from the track, and there was a place downtown, a Mexican restaurant that was really, really good. It's actually one of the better Mexican restaurants that I've had on the tour. But those people were so genuine out there. They were just so nice. You can tell, like you go to Pennsylvania, those people know drag racing. You cannot slide anything under their nose, and they'll smell it and they'll tell you if it's good or not, because they know numbers, they know drag racing really, really well.
Well, that's
Northeast.
our home
Go
track. For me and Pete, that's our home track, national event wise.
I don't have a home track, by the way.
You're kind of Las Vegas.
No, his is out in the
I don't
middle
even
of.
think you have a home.
I'm in Florida right now, but yeah.
So give me your predictions on Pomona this week. What's who do you think can win Top Fuel in Pomona?
You know what? Leah has been having a rough year, and I might be a little bit biased because I'm friends with a lot of her crew. I think Leah's going to be back on her game, and I think she can take. She almost beat Torrance 2000s in the final at Sonoma. I think Leah's gonna get it. There's a guy that lives in Maryland, works in Florida and Vegas, that's gonna try to turn a win light on Super Comp. But I know you guys don't care about that.
Nice, good for you, bro. Good for you. That's cool. And what's everybody else think for Top Fuel? Top Fuel, just name one. Top Fuel, funny car, pro stock car. Who do you think's gonna win?
I'm going to predict John Force Racing sweep.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to predict Double E for Pro Stock.
Oh, wow. She got beat on a hole shot by Troy, huh?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen too often. She's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Well, that's I think our class is with the motorcycles. I think the war teams really got some good momentum, and they got some good mojo going. I think Vance and Hines. I mean, think about their dominance. Think about their Monday morning meetings.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy on this Suzuki pile? You know, it's like he doesn't even have a Vance and Hines cylinder head. It's like, gosh darn it. So I think those guys they're I don't know if they're holding back for the countdown, because everybody said Matt did that a couple of years ago. He saved his best engine for the countdown, and then he brought it out at Pomona, and it was really, really fast. And I think he went 200, and he raced Eddie in the final for all the marbles. But I think he had a really good engine for that event. So that was pretty strategic, pretty crafty.
You know, it's funny you say that. Let me just interrupt you real quick and get your opinion on this. So Gainesville, I think it was Eddie. Eddie hadn't raced since last year, even though, well, I guess that was the first race. Was it? Okay, maybe it wasn't Gainesville. Did he leave? Where'd he go? You back? Okay. So whatever race that Craywick brought out his bike, maybe it was Atlanta, I don't know, but it seemed like they just went fast the first time out with it. Like how is that? Like how can they just like new team, new bike, new?
They went 200 in the second pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Those guys are so good at their craft. You can't. I mean, and Jill, the lightest rider with the most power. I mean, that Suzuki's got to have, I would think, the most power of any Vance and Hines 4-valve. Matt Hines, when he raced, clearly he had the most amount of power than any 4-valve out there. There's, I don't think I'm saying anything mean or derogatory to say that they have a little more power in their own personal house engine. I think everybody knew that. Having said that, I cannot understand. I know that the big deal, the big talk in our class right now is power management. And for those of you that don't know, that I don't have any problem telling you, all my parts are bought from the manufacturer's webpage. Monster cylinder head, webcams, APE parts, APE springs. I got all the Vance and Hines crank, a Liberty transmission. All of these things you can just buy and put together yourself, port it yourself or have it ported from Monster, do all these things. My point in saying this is they really have some incredible technology, and there could be some strategy here. Them going as fast as they did in Atlanta and then them not doing anything since.
Right. Yeah, that's what kind of weird. Yeah.
I'll tell you that we have so much more torque and power that we retard the ignition timing in low gear with a map. We have Electron carburetors, by the way. We don't have electronic fuel injection. We don't have a Motec. We don't have a whatever the Steve Nichols thing is. It's called Fast, I think, or something like that. We don't have any of that stuff. but we do have a timing curve that we can input into our MSD, and it will adjust. It will take, you can take 5 degrees out at 10,000. You can take 10 degrees out at 12,000, and you can put 1 degree in at 13,000. So you can do anything you want with the map, and ultimately take the power away from the engine, which anybody would hate to hear, but ultimately you take power away and you go quicker.
So with Pomona being hot and greasy, does it come back to a person like you, that you're making power, you've got some power management, is this a race where we can see you do a lot better than Sonoma, where everybody had, ideal conditions?
Say that one more time.
No, I'm not saying. All right. So with Pomona being,
I had to switch my battery. My battery was going dead. I'm so sorry. I'm so unprofessional.
No, it's fine. It's not. You're fine. No, I'm saying with Pomona being hot and greasy, and you having good power management, systems. Is this a track that we can see you do a lot better at than like Sonoma, where everybody's fast, everybody's got good conditions? Can you pretty much stay ahead of the curve on a hot greasy racetrack?
Yeah, I think that's actually a good thing to actually think about. I think you might be right. I'd be against my brand if I didn't tell you that I thought we could go really quick in Sonoma, but I got a late. Well, my mom was there. My mom's 90, and she's like, she's the one who said, "Have you thought about construction?" So she's up in the grandstand, or she's up. I got her a suite, the Corbel. I think it's called Corbel Champagne.
Yeah, Corbel. Yeah.
There was
Corbel.
nobody in there on Friday. She was in there by herself, and so she's in there enjoying herself, and she's with her friend Linda. And I'm trying to knock it out of the park and show her how good her son is. Her favorite son, by the way. Sorry, Alan. And it shakes the tire. I didn't do the right thing to the timing curve, and it kicks me to the right, and I hit the cone and go in the other lane. I'm like, what was that construction guy's phone number now?
Yeah, we've all been there before. Yeah, one of the very first times my mom got to see me race like a top dragster, like a legit big race. The very first pass, I kicked the rod out in the water. So I'm with you. Yeah, exactly.
Well, they all see. I just turned around in my shirt. You can get this shirt on my Facebook racing page. There's a link there in case anybody wants. It's a pretty rare shirt. I don't know if it'll ever be printed again.
We're gonna post the link so that everybody goes and buys your shirt.
Cool.
You gotta save an extra large fat boy size for me in Pomona. I'll be by to pick it up.
I'll definitely. We might be on a second run. So our first run we printed over 3 dozen.
Woo. You're an animal. I'm still trying to figure out who Jerron's going to give the XL to, because it ain't for him.
Oh, nice! Oh, and the crowd goes, "Oh, wow!"
Oh, God.
He's the guy who goes through the checkout line at Walmart with medium underwear, and the cashier starts cracking up. Your son will love these, sir.
Did I tell you, if you're not interested in some of those health conscious ideas, here's a place in the background that is a very wonderful place to engage in your taste buds.
Exactly. But I'm gonna put spinach in it for my pH levels.
Oh, see, your retention's high. I'm proud of you. And now all we need to do is, I'm telling you though, that's the honest truth is you start looking at your pH balance, and you really start getting engaged in your health, and you can definitely do things to increase some of the health. Although my mom's friend says you can eat almost anything, and if you tell yourself that this is healthy for you, your brain and your soul work together, they'll make anything great. I'm like, wow,
I like it.
I'm not completely bought into that yet. But
That's pretty, that's
To
pretty
try
deep.
that with chicken nuggets. See how it works. out.
yeah. Something about Lucky Charms just doesn't have a lot of nutrition in my eyes.
Hey, beer has hops.
Well, look,
Something about the 9 pages of ingredients that all have 12-syllable words in it that just scare me.
Yeah.
hey, how can we get our buddy Mike back out there on the tour? I know he had an accident or something, but he was kind of headed in the right direction with power. I know you were helping him, but are we going to see him back out there this year?
Mike
Phillips.
Oh, well, I didn't know he had an accident.
Something, I think he hurt his hand or something. Something happened.
Oh, yeah. I heard. Hey, I guess he's a heck of a bowler, huh?
Yeah, he's a very good bowler. Yeah, for sure. But what, you were tuning his bike there for a while, weren't you, or helping him with it?
No, he needed. He had an ignition problem, and I think Gary Stouffer did something, and I think we supplied some parts or helped him or something like that. But he was in Pennsylvania one year, and he was going into the final, and we took the engine right out of our bike and gave it to him, and I know our bike's a little rough under the hood, but woo, boy, Michael. Man.
Yeah. My stuff is rough, but it's fast.
If y'all know anything about painting and prepping and getting ready to do body work and stuff, you know, if you can take 80 grit to something and really smooth it out, woo, boy. Well, Michael and me, we could take 36 to our bikes, and it would. I'll tell you, the Vance and Hines bikes are absolutely breathtaking. I think they charge $150,000 or $175,000. You can buy a bike from those guys, and you can go race an NHRA Pro Stock, and their valve springs last. I think he said from the start of the year till Denver, Joey had never changed valve springs. So those guys do such a good job with customer bought engines.
Pete, I think that was your cue to run Pro Stock motorcycle.
I'm in. Put me in. All I got to do is cut about 100 pounds off of me, and I'm ready to rock.
Well, that's you might need a little bit different proportion on the spinach pizza ratio, but
yeah. Do they make a spinach crust, Steve?
Yeah, well, crust. Hey, I went to that Papa John when that Papa John guy was there, and Leah's done a good job of bringing. You know, that's the one good thing about our sport that I wish people would really give a little bit more credit to these people, like you know, Alex Laughlin, he looks like 24/7 on sponsorship and engaging social media, and that's a value. And Leah does a good job with her ice and things like that. So a lot of those things,
I lost him again.
A lot of those things really, really help our sport. And I hope at some point, you know, we all work as a team to make our sport better. And that's why I had that meeting in Denver where I said, hey, you know, did you know that to pay our purse, if you go to Denver, for instance, and they pay our purse, the track has to come up with half the money, right? So you take half the money of our purse and you divide that in half, and you come up with a certain amount of money. And then you take that amount of money and you say, how many tickets do I got to sell at the gate to pay for that amount of money to break even? No businessman wants to break even. And, you know, it's 400 tickets at $35 each. So I think my point in saying that is again, be a little bit more positive. You know, if you got a problem with somebody, I got fired from the War People, and after one race, and it was done and over. There was no I promised to brush my teeth, I promised to use deodorant, I promised to say the right things. You know, I just got fired, and I just wish we were more as a better society with education and inspiring people as we are on the drama. You know, he's bad, she's bad, blah, blah, blah. I know that sounds really sucky uppy stuff. But even if we changed our thought process 50%, we would all be way better. And I know drag racing would be too.
Yeah, it definitely brings up a good point that the racers need to try to help. You know, everybody looks at NHRA to do it, but you could do it yourself. You could help sell tickets yourself. you know, not out at the gate, but like you said, if you're bringing in more sponsors, you're bringing in more, if you're thinking about the big picture a little bit more, we could all help each other, and, you know, and make the sport a lot better.
Go to camera 2.
Chris, go ahead.
One of the worst things I ever heard come out of a racer's mouth is it's not my job to promote the track.
Right.
Track's job.
It's not what?
I heard a racer say this one time. It's not my job to promote the track. It's the track's job to promote the race.
Yeah, well, the only thing I heard a racer say that too. When did you see, I want to be good. When did you see Alex Rodriguez ever get on TV or social media and tell everybody they need to come to the park because they need to sell more tickets, you know, for the New York Yankees or something? You know, when do you ever see a hockey guy, you know, I get all that, but we're drag racing. We're a grain of sand on the beach.
Absolutely.
If nobody wants to buy into the fact that this is a team that makes us do good, NHRA's got the same problem every one of those drag racing teams do, except for Torrance. We're underfunded and under-resourced, which is ultimately the same thing. We need more resources. So, you know, for that guy to say that, he's absolutely right in a perfect world, but we all love the sport. And why would you want to do something derogatory to hurt the sport? And that's why I brought up that meeting. And when I said that to the riders, when I said, hey, we need to think about what we're saying on TV, old hashtag JW, he piped right up and called me the F word right in front of everybody. I ate it with a scoop shovel and said, okay. He says, it's about me. You're just talking about me. No, JW, I'm talking about the whole class. We need to be more cognizant about what we say.
JW.
Gosh darn, it's not, see, even when you're mad, even when he thinks somebody's mad, he thinks it's about him. It's about the class. So man, he had potty mouth like you would, and I'm there with Colorado Christian University, CCU Online. If you want to grade it, I gotta tell you this. In the education mode, they have an online course that you can get in 5 weeks. You can graduate. I mean, that is so cool. I'm seriously thinking about anything that makes you smarter, and I want to do it, because if it makes me smarter in 5 weeks, I'm all about it.
There you go.
I think listening to this interview in an hour and a half makes me smarter.
Well, you know about pH now.
I know about my pH level. I got like 8 sponsors to go after.
Exactly.
You know what telephone service to use, and obviously one of the most important things is where to get a really cool branded t-shirt.
I like it.
And no, seriously, all kidding aside, everybody real quick, without listening to each other, what's the one takeaway you get from Steve Johnson from this interview? What's the one takeaway, the retention that you get?
Basically, just the last point we talked about is we can all help the sport.
Okay. All right. Camera 2.
That's you, Chris.
He's gonna forever be camera 2.
Knock off the trash talking.
What is that?
Knock off the trash talking.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah.
We don't Steve, we don't let Chris out very much. We have to excuse him. Go ahead.
All right. Camera 3.
I thought I was camera 1.
Oh, I thought Jared was camera 1.
I don't know. Either way. I'll tell you what I get from this interview.
Jaron, sorry.
It's confirmation, and I'll explain. We've been talking quite a bit lately in prior weeks about bad-mouthing tracks, and we'll be the first one to throw them under the bus and then complain when they're gone.
Yes.
And I've kind of been on my soapbox probably the last month or two about trash talking tracks, and nobody's perfect, but let's suggest things to make them better. Let's not abuse social media. And basically all the stuff that we've, us three have been preaching for the last couple of months, to hear it come from a pro's mouth. It's confirming, and I like it.
That's really cool. But I will add that, I'm trying to, the trash talking to a certain extent is good. Bob Button doesn't really like it much, but it does provide a little bit of action. And, there's Matt Smith is important for our sport. I mean, I had a little phlegm in my throat.
Yeah. You were like
Okay.
Fonzarelli trying to say the word love there for a second.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
I'm going to say it again. He's important for our sport. He provides motorcycles to rent. He does a good job with that. He's a good racer. His dad's been a good racer. I mean, our sport needs diversity, and he provides all that. It's just, that's where my whole deal was with making a hobbyist shirt. It's like, hey man, you're dogging out you can't race yourself, Mr. Professional. All us hobbyists, I always joke, me and Jock, we got a day off early. We worked extra late so we can leave Friday, so it's like, everybody can't be Matt Smith. Thank the Lord. But there's no reason to trash everybody for that. It's like unbelievable, especially the racetracks. But I think we all have an opportunity to thank our healthcare workers. I think we have an opportunity to be fantastic human beings. And I think we have an opportunity to learn and to make ourselves better.
Let me amend my trash talking. The trash talking is good if it makes for a nice rivalry.
Rivalry
That's
is
one of
good.
the things that we have talked about even before Jerron joined our show. There needs to be more rivalries. With the rivalries comes the trash talking between those two parties. Like Force and Hoffman back in the day, man. It was like, like that. That's when it's trash talking is okay. It's like you said, when you bust on a track or
The sanctioning body or
a couple of us here are guilty of it.
oh yeah.
This guy right here, especially.
What's the most famous one that you think that you guys have ever seen on NHRA? The trash talk.
Steak and Mongoose.
Who? Oh, really?
Steak and Mongoose. That's where
I
I
don't
go
think I
back
ever
to.
saw that. What's another one?
My best
most-
one that sticks out in my head was when Warren Johnson and Jim Yates, and
nice.
you'll like this one because this would be
Burn
something
down.
right up your alley. Jim Yates was sponsored by McDonald's, and Warren Johnson made a pass, and it was slick. And Steve Evans shoves the mic right in his face, and he goes, "What do you think of the track?" And he said, "It's greasy like a McDonald's cheeseburger."
Wow.
And I remember that, and I thought that was the greatest thing in the world.
In
What do
a
you
little
think?
bit more of the modern era was Force, and I think it was Cruz when he had the McDonald's sponsorship.
Oh, wait.
Somebody asked Force in a post-race interview if he was going to go to McDonald's after the race, and he about lost his flipping mind during the interview.
Well, Jaron, what was your choice?
As far as rivalries go, man, I don't know. I mean, I guess I tried to stay away from that type of stuff, or didn't pay attention to it. I guess I should say.
Okay, let me see if you got on board. Do you remember Tony Pendergon and John Force when John Force supposedly laid down?
Indy.
That was the biggest one I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
that was right in your face.
And then to boot, Robert Height wins the championship from the 10th position.
Exactly.
Only time it ever happened.
So Michael Phillips is racing Bostic at Indy one year, and I think it was a qualifying run, and he was jacking around. Chris wasn't jacking around, but Michael took it as he was jacking around. So Michael gets off the track, the other guy gets off the track, and Michael comes running up. He says, "I'm going to tear that guy. I'm going to kick his butt." So I said, "Michael, you can't do anything like get in any kind of violence because they'll throw you out. I don't care what they'll do. Michael, they could suspend you and you wouldn't be able to come back to the next race." And he said, "I don't care. He's screwing with me. I'm going to tear his throat out." And I said, "Michael, if you do something like that, they could throw you out for a whole year." And he says, "I don't." I said, "Well, get on in there, man."
Now you know what you're up against. Have at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did my job, man. And secretly, NHRA loves that stuff. They will never admit it, but they
Yeah,
love the
for sure.
put NASCAR and CBS on the map, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But see, my point is I do a branding seminar with young people called "Marketing Your Brand After the Diploma." So when a girl, you're in senior and you're in college, whatever, the door opens up, a girl walks in, every dude's checking her out, right? They're all looking. Hey man, is she hot? Is she got a car? Is she rich?
We lost him again. Shameless plug.
Come back
Ted
to him.
Weens. Ted Weens Complete Auto Repair since 1948.
He started talking about hot chicks and off he went. What happened?
Yeah.
Ryan Connery, top sportsman racer.
Oh, Connery. Straight Line Performance, the leader in Vega.
I got a
Vega.
Hanes wet dry shirt.
I was gonna give you a plug. Straight Line Performance, the best looking Vegas in all of drag race.
That's right.
Are you looking for comprehensive solutions for your performance and automotive needs? Straight Line Performance and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop specializing in race car fabrication,
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah. Camera 2, cut it.
Well, the ad had to be like the owner of the business, short
Short and sweet.
The trash talk, I like it. So now we got the Barnes,
We got
Senka rivalry going on here. I like it.
someday some 8-year-old will be talking about the rivalry they heard for the 2 minutes they watched Racing News Network. What was your favorite rivalry? When the two ball-headed guys started picking on each other.
Hey, so I'm gonna put it out there just because I like putting crazy stuff out there. I'm gonna try to do a live, maybe at Pomona, just to I don't know, from somebody's trailer. I don't know. I'll get with you, Chris and Pete, and we'll figure something out. Just a little bonus, little 10-minute, little something or whatever. But I think if I can find time to do that, it'd be kind of cool.
I like it.
Yeah, I
do
leave
something.
Sunday morning at 6:30.
It would probably be Thursday or Friday for sure.
Of this week or next?
Of this week. No, this week. Yeah, I leave for Pomona Thursday morning.
All right. Not a
Very
problem.
cool.
Yeah, just let me know. Give me a call, text, whatever. Let me know.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, we might just something different, just a race report, if you will, at the race.
So we'll hang
I don't know.
for a couple minutes, and then if he doesn't return, we will bid this evening a fond adieu.
Yeah, that was a hell of an hour and 50 minutes. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I'll throw this out there now. Next Monday, there will not be a show. I'm going on vacation for a week. So we're going to take a break for a week, and then we're going to come back the week after that. We have
The former Speaker of the House.
Former Speaker of the House.
Mike.
Yeah, the former speaker was John, but we got his long lost cousin.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say Mike's last name.
Mike Boehner.
Mike Boehner. You
Mike
don't
Boehner.
remember John Boehner, the former Speaker of the House?
No.
Come on, Pete.
Wow.
You said you're politically educated.
Exactly. You don't know John Boehner? What the heck? What's that all?
Oh yeah, we went way back. Yeah.
You lie like a rook. Anyway, so yeah, Mike's gonna be cool. Mike's a cool individual. He's got probably one of the nicest super guys cars on the planet.
That's a Camaro, correct? First gen.
It's a Camaro, 68 Camaro, which is, maybe I won't give it away, but it's got a pretty nice lineage. Its history is pretty cool. So I'll let him tell you about that. But
we are also going to try and get some coverage from the Division I Junior Dragster Nationals that's taking place at Lebanon Valley. I'm going to do my best to get results from there, and I would love to be able to get a couple of kids on from class winners just for a quick 5-minute interview or something, just to give the kids a little bit of spotlight for their hard work of knocking down a very big race.
Yeah, it'd be cool. That's this weekend as well.
That will be next weekend.
Next weekend, okay.
Yeah, that'll be the same weekend as Mike, so we'll try and coordinate it kind of like we did tonight with them first, and then I just want to give the kids a chance at the spotlight.
Absolutely.
Since the race is local to us, that would be really cool to get them on.
I believe children are children. But yeah,
It doesn't look like Steve is coming on.
No,
And
doesn't look like it.
I am dying to go take a shower. So
Yeah.
do us
I
a
can
very,
tell.
yeah, right. Do us a very big favor, John. Honestly, all kidding aside, thank him very much because that was an awesome interview.
that was
For sure,
awesome.
for sure, I will. Yeah, I'll see him.
And make sure someone gets his link on the page because as soon as I see it, I'm going to order a shirt.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll get the link on the page. I'm gonna call him right
Because
after
I
this.
went looking for it ever so quickly. I didn't see it, but if you can get it, please
I'll grab it for you.
text
Yeah.
it or message it to me.
We'll grab it. And probably what we'll do is try to get a finale. We'll get him to say goodbye live from Pomona on Thursday or Friday. Just
That's a
since he
deal.
didn't get to do it tonight, we'll do it
That's
there.
a
So
deal.
that is a promise that we'll do. The other stuff will be a bonus.
And I want Jock on there too to say hello.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jock's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff.
So I'm gonna get back to work, finishing up.
Do your
some
thing. You
stuff.
came through this week, my man. Appreciate you.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We're gonna surprise you with a lot more people. We're gonna get this thing rolling, and we're gonna make this something bigger than you, which won't take.
Yeah,
much to
yeah.
do.
So that's about 5'5". Big deal.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for look. Oh, he's back. So okay, wait a minute. But he's screwing up my finale. We can't do a finale. If
I'm
he's
back.
on. So look, Steve, I had a better idea. So since
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I the whole time I was charging and the darn thing wasn't plugged in. I ride a motorcycle 199.94, but can't make sure that the blue plug is in the thing right there. You know.
Well, I was gonna say something about JW, but I won't. But look, so you can come back on and say your buys, but I was gonna come and we were gonna have you say your final thoughts live at Pomona on Thursday, but you came back on.
Oh yeah, well I definitely want to save the final thoughts, and I was kind of thinking about what I was trying to think about, and I thought about what my final thoughts would have been if I would have said that, and it's really
Well, look, you got to give us the link for the t-shirts. We've got literally like one person that wants to buy a shirt, so you got to freaking give us the link. Yeah, okay. So there might be two people. There might be two people buying shirts. I'm not gonna buy one. You're gonna
hold the press. I'm gonna up my order. Hold on.
I'm not
2002.
I'm not buying one. You're gonna get. I don't pay for shirts. I'm a free t-shirt guy. But I'm gonna sell at least 5 for you so that I get mine for free. How about that?
Okay. Here. All right. That's all good. But here. This is an important part. So everybody needs to be straight-faced. What do you want your brand to be when people see you, meet you, or hear about you? And what is it? And are you happy with it? And if you're not happy with it, how are you going to change it?
I like it. Final thoughts from Steve Johnson.
Could we get back to you on that one?
Yeah. That's why I tried to change the subject and say final thoughts from Steve Johnson.
Because that's what I was saying when it did. When the smoking girl, when a hot girl walks in, all the guys are checking her out. When the guy walks in, all the girls are checking. Is he on football teams? Does he have his own cars? He got a job, blah, blah, blah. And you don't even know that person or nothing. So when you walk in for a job interview or you send in a proposal for free parts or money, what is the first thing that people think about? Are they thinking about your name? Are they thinking about your letterhead? Are they thinking about your typos in your letter? Are they thinking about how the envelope didn't have the address straight and square? Did they wonder if you wrote out California instead of abbreviated it, which means that you're lazy? You know, what are the things that really create your brand? And are you doing the best job you can to have that kind of vision for other people to see about you?
I like it.
The two bald guys want to do the best job that we can to promote sportsman drag racing. We want to do the best opportunity for people to promote themselves over ourselves. Where I'm on my screen, he's across from me, so that's why I'm doing this. I want the opportunity to promote everybody the best way that I possibly can. It's not about me and it's not about him. It's about the people that make up the sport.
So I talk about my advisory council all the time. One of the guys on my advisory council, and I'll tell you before I tell you his name, he was in my hometown. One of my best friends worked for him, and he was a comp guy. And I just thought, oh, he's a comp guy. I race pro stock motorcycle. I was so full of myself. It was so embarrassing, but it's the education. And I got educated. I got smarter. Now, like I said about Vance Nines, I had no idea how much work, how hard it is to do what they do. And they do it every single day, a lot of the time. And the same thing with this guy. He's one of only 2 people that have won a championship in comp.
2 people?
One of only 2 people, maybe 3 people that have won multiple championships in comp.
Multiple. And you're talking world, not divisional.
Correct, world.
Well, I can think of about 5 multiple world champions in comp right now. He had to have done. He must be famous for something else because
Must be 3 then. Okay, how about 3?
No, I can name.
My head is David Rampy.
You got one of them.
Well,
Frank
you got
Aragona's won more than one.
Yeah, Frank Aragona's won more than one.
Yep.
Yeah, he's won.
No, I
Frankie's-
said 3. 3. There's 3. They've won 3 championships, not 2.
Oh,
3.
3 championships. Oh, okay. So Aragona.
Wait, who? Aragona?
No, I'm sorry, not Frank Aragona.
Rampy.
Comp championship 3. Yeah, Rampy's won 3 championships. Geez, I know this. I'm like Brett Kepner would be so disappointed in me right now. Hang on.
Camera 2. Come on, Chris.
I get
Benny,
it.
Benny,
I went with the most obvious answer because that was a dead giveaway.
Sal Biondo or Peter Biondo has won.
Oh,
Maybe he hasn't won. Maybe Pete's only won 1. Sal's won 2.
Can I give you a small hint, or do you want to get it yourself?
No, we
Give me a
take in
small.
First name is Bill.
Jenkins.
Bill Garopolis out of he had the old Felpro A-Drax series. So
Yeah, he's in my hometown, and I went up and he taught me about the dyno, and he's right here and see me, and he's just a cool guy. He does a bunch of engines now for all the round track guy. He does what's it called? LS engines.
Vinny Barone.
He does.
No, Vinny, I don't think Vinny ever won a world championship. His cars did with Sal and P-Drive, but I don't think Vinny ever won a world championship. So,
But Meropolis is building LS engines, and I have a 1940 Ford, which I do nothing else. I don't even have a cat anymore. I got a refrigerator and a TV, and I disconnected my cable because I never watched it. So my house is empty, and the TV's there, but it doesn't have any cable. So I learned out you can get bunny ears on there and watch NBC. But and no cat, and a refrigerator that's empty. It's got old Miller beer in there. But in saying that, my real personal dream is to get my 1940 Ford, who the guy that didn't swim, Dennis Wilson, I think, the Beach Boy guy. It was his car. It was going to be a drag car for him. It's a 40 Ford, had a Hemi engine in it, and somebody stole the engine in Alabama that I had sitting in my van that I brought out from California. Anyway, I want to put a Ford. It's called a Coyote engine, I think. Yeah. I want to put a Coyote engine in it, and I want to use it as a social media tool to engage young people in skilled trades and help Ford with the branding of how their engines can go in anything. And get away from the guy with a 40 Ford, or any kind of old Ford, which are typically the most desirable, I think, and people putting Chevy engines in Fords. I want to help drive that.
There you go, Pete. You can put one in your Vega.
A Ford motor. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one too.
That would be a cool project for the kids at school, though. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. So for a little bit of information, Steve, Pete is actually a teacher. So so he goes an instructor. He goes above and beyond what you said, and he gives back. So you kind of tell him a little bit more what you do, Pete, because I just think you don't do anything. I just think you just get up early. That's all you do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. So I actually teach at a state vocational school.
Nice.
We teach automotive technologies. And a little shameless plug, but over the summer I got promoted to department head. So I'm now in charge of the whole program. And when you were mentioning before about what you want to be known for and what your brand is, a lot of times the first thing that pops into your head is the answer. And I want to be known for introducing youth to automotive
That
and
is so
getting them
cool.
excited and giving them a future so they could go out and make a living the way I have for the last however many
800 years.
Yeah, exactly. Feels like 800, but yeah. So that's pretty much what I'd like to be known for.
So let me ask you, do you have advisory meetings?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we have staff meetings. We have a couple of times a year. It's called CPAC, where we get other automotive teachers, and then we get business owners, and we all have meetings. We get together about how we're going to introduce kids into the work environment, doing sending kids to work while they're supposed to be in school, school-based learning, stuff like that. So yeah, we do that a couple times a year, and that's
Let me ask you this. Let me
Sure.
ask you this. Can your school accept fund? Does your school need resources and funding? And can you go out and solicit that?
That's a good question. That's something that I would have to ask administration about.
Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to engage people. If you ask any automotive shop, dealership at the national dealership level, all the way down to the independent, most of them are going to say their biggest issue is employment. They don't have employment, and they always say we don't have employees. And the problem when you peel that back is and this is to everybody is that it's really not an application problem as much as it is a skilled application. You need somebody that has the skills. And what I would encourage somebody to look at is when you do need more resources and financial, if you engage all the local businesses that are in that industry, and you engage them in a process to where you're teaching the students exactly what they need, it is a no-brainer for them to help you with resources, because you're going to be a funnel to deliver them what they're looking for and what costs them a lot of money to find.
Yep. See, we actually had a problem with teachers in this particular program, and unfortunately, the automotive shop was a place where kids who didn't get their first, second, or third pick wound up. And what that created was a lot of people that graduated from the program that had very little desire to be in automotive.
There's 25% of the students in the class are still thinking about that as a career path.
Right.
And 18% of the students that are in that engagement want to work on trucks. So when you peel it down, you start really understanding what's going on. But the biggest problem that our industry has is when over 130,000 students are going to automotive school in high school level, their feeling is our industry does not provide a skilled path, a vision for them of success. We are our own worst enemies right now because we're not engaging the students into saying, if you learn this material and understand it, this is your career path until you retire. We're not doing a good job of not only explaining that, we're not doing a good job of explaining how the opportunity is there for them and being able to provide it.
Yep, I agree.
Well, look, hey, I just got news butted in by my producer. Men's nude darts we run over our time. Men's nude darts started 3 minutes ago, and so it's already going to be in progress. We got to wrap it up.
All right.
But it's co-ed nude darts. It's round 3 of the championship nude darts.
They got axe throwing. They got my buddy's got axe throwing.
Now that it's co-ed, Jerron's probably a lot less interested. He liked it better with male.
Okay, all you viewers, guess what state I'm in?
Yeah, California.
Do you have a straw that's slowly wilting away?
Yeah, and here's one more. Here's a little tear coming down from my eye. That's me thinking about going to dinner with Matt.
JW, he's JW from now on.
JW.
Well, look, Steve, I want to thank you for coming on, but you got to send me the link to buy your t-shirts. Literally, I know we're gonna sell t-shirts. Either text it to me or
I'll do it.
send
I'll do it
to
right away,
Chris, and we'll get you on there. And then I will see you on Thursday. I want my t-shirt, and then we're gonna just do a little quick live to say, see what you think about conditions, what's gonna happen, and your predictions after getting to the track.
Absolutely, and I'll send you that text as soon as I charge my phone. My phone's dead right now, but as soon as it charges back up, I'll send you that link.
And Steve, whatever info you can pass on about educating youth, please keep me in mind. I'd be happy to read whatever you got.
Well, I need to hook you up with the ASE. So are you accredited school?
Yes.
Oh, ASE?
Yes.
No kidding. Oh.
Yeah, when kids leave our school, as long as they pass the test, they will have 4 junior certifications in ASE. Reason why it's junior, obviously, because part of the requirement is having experience, which they won't have until they get into the workforce. But they do have the opportunity to get certified in 4 categories.
Yeah, make sure you give your contact. I'll send the contact for my shirts, and you flip me the contact, and you and I need to hook you up with my buddy George Aronson, ASE.
Awesome, that would be fantastic.
All right, and Chris, where's Chris?
That's camera two. Camera two.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot, Steve.
We'll
see
really
you.
I will seriously put that link up on our Facebook page for you, and I'm actually going to order one the end of the week. So thank you for coming on and hanging out. It's been an absolute blast talking to you. I've been looking forward to this one.
And Chris, I love your brand about you wanting to help sportsmen guys. See, look at my retention. It's 100% focused on your brand.
You're the man, Steve.
But you don't remember my brand, but it's okay. We'll talk to you.
Dragway next year. Let's hope.
Yeah, well, that's how do I that's the deal where I go like this.
We'll see you, Steve.
Guys, thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks for everything, Steve. You're the best.
Thank you.
Don't forget a little slick 50. Oil's in the pan when you start your car. Gravity tells you that.
That's right.
All right. Bye.
Take care, buddy. Thanks.
We'll see you. We'll see you.
All right, Steve. Take care. Have a great night.
Bye, Chris.
All right. Take care. Well, that was awesome. I'm exhausted.
It doesn't get much better than that, does it? I'm going to sleep good tonight.
That was great.
I've got to go back. I've got to go back to work. You guys get to chill out and take showers and go to bed. I still got about 3 hours worth of work.
You know, if you started at like 6:30 in the morning, you wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, that sounds like a personal problem starting that early. I'm still healing up from that morning at your place when you started your truck over early and scared me and I stumped my toe in your motorhome.
Has it grown back yet?
No, it's starting to peak out. I cannot believe that. Yeah, it was that bad.
That is the best. That's the best. You really should have airbrushed a toenail on my car somewhere. You know that, right?
There you go. Steve, Pete, did you get handed a T-shirt this weekend?
No.
Okay.
Was I supposed to?
Yeah.
From who?
Rob.
No.
Okay. All right.
Definitely not. He sucks. You can tell him I said that.
Rob, I know you're watching. Pete said you suck.
That's right.
Rob who? Rob Keister?
Rob Keister.
Oh yeah, the guy that goes.
I raced with him. I like seeing him at the track. He's good people.
No, Rob's a good guy. I love Rob for sure.
We don't race together that much, but I enjoy being around him.
Rob is good for the sport for sure.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right, guys.
All right, gentlemen, it's been fun.
Well, I'm going to be on vacation, so it won't be a show next Monday, but we'll probably be throwing something together Thursday, Friday this week, depending on how everything works out. And I will keep you all informed.
Good
Have
stuff.
a great night. Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thank
Steve
you,
Johnson.
Chris.
Thank you to Shelby Williams. Congratulations on your first national event win, young lady. And
Thank you to Jerron for getting Steve Johnson on. Great stuff.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you,
Not a
Jerron.
problem.
See
Not
you
a
guys.
problem. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
There you
All
go.
right. Have a good night. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. If you're racing this weekend, stay safe. Good luck. Have fun.